Hi folks, and welcome to the Fimmermilk channel. And I'm in the woods again, and I thought I'd do another whittling project with you, which I already featured on this channel, but it didn't work out too well. So I want to try as I might if I can't do it, whether or not I can do it a little better. And I was meaning to carve Tiger Ente, which is a cartoon character from one Janosch. And if you don't know the children's books, you must have a look, because they are pretty whimsical. They are really wholesome, and I really do love them. And you know my stance on whimsy. I want to start to carve the body of the Tiger Ente, which is essentially a duck, first, and I got some beechwood now. Oh, and I see it has a split in it, which I might or might not be able to remove. We'll see. Maybe it will go awry again. What I want to carve is a recession first, and I'm using scooping cuts, like so. Oh, that's hard. It's pretty hard, this wood. And I leave, this will be the head of the duck, and I leave a little bit more than I would with another form of bird. Yeah, well, that works better. But still, the wood is pretty rotten, and if you're carving to your boards yourself, take care to lock your elbows to your side. I am using Swiss Army knife, and which does the job admirably. Like so. And if you've done this already, I hope that I get rid of the split. If you look at that, that's not great. But that's the problem if you work with wood you found on the floor. That you will always be faced with challenges like this. So, but I need to make do now, and if you understand the principle, it wouldn't be too much harm done to myself, because that's why I do this. I hope to get myself some decent carving wood, because essentially this is practice for a bigger project I want to do, and actually to a whole whole bunch of projects I want to learn how to make, and making toys is really satisfying, and I want to look further into it because it's fascinating. You can be really creative and work with different materials and all that stuff, and I really do think this will be something I could enjoy in the future, because I think, well, honestly I need a workshop, because I am more and more, it's becoming more and more of a challenge to do that bushcraft thingy, because authorities and stuff, and well, the thing I wanted to do for a living didn't turn out, so I wanted to work for a sustainability center, but at least it looks at the moment that I wouldn't be able to do anything there. At least not what I intended to do, because well, we all know that whittling and getting outside isn't good for capitalism, and that's, I don't want to claim that this is the culprit, but honestly, or maybe I should be more precise, because I'm not convinced that the culprit is capitalism per se, but our special kind of capitalism, which is anarcho-capitalism. And time was when I was really I was feeling that the concept of anarchy would be able to create a really a better world. I'm folding out the little blade because the space here is pretty limited, and I modified the blade a little bit, since it had a bad dent in it. And anyway, I got this for €3 on a flea market, and I must have for some new scales for I think €6 or something, and look at that. What I'm carving here is still the recession between the head and the tail, and you can see it's pretty much nearing something that could be called completion. I use a potato peeler cut at the moment. Take care that your thumb is always below the blade, and the direction of your cut and the direction of the force is always, and don't do this, because there are your veins, and so that was crap what I just showed you. Oh well, that wood is really, it's, on the one hand it's busted to carve, on the other hand it's pretty rotten, so it offers me some really challenging surprises, and so where was I? I was talking about that at the moment I really would love to have some sort of a workshop where I just could close the door and whittle away, forge away, without letting the world in. Yes, that's escapist. And but as John Ronald Reuel Tolkien said in an interview with Humphrey Carpenter, if a soldier is left for imprisoned, it is his or her military duty to escape, to do everything to survive, evade, resist, escape. This is the Serre maxim, and it also applies for survival in general. And mankind is arguably in a survival situation. We are all held custody by raving madmen wanting to spray us with fentanyl-laced urine or something, and it's not a joke. It's they mean it. Well, enough said. Don't want to get myself in a fix. I want to now I want to round off this part a little bit. So you get some sort of a curve, and the other day I realized that after you did the first shaping caps, you should clean up the facets already, because if you clean up in the process, you are left with less cleaning up to do after the process. And it sounds like pretty much of a commonplace, but this is something that really opened my eyes. I'm weird that way. And now I'm adding some sort of a curve into the other direction as well, using a set potato peeler grip. And folks, if you are at the beginning of the learning process, I really suggest that you don't apply a lot of force, and just let the sharpness of the blade do the work, because also if you're advanced, because the less force you apply, the better. Actually, I think it's already even now it's already too complex for the cartoon character. It will be a duck on wheels, not a tiger enter. And but less force means more precision, and well, I assume you are in the woods to in order to spend some quality time, and the longer you take, the more quality time you have. And you might want to try to see it that way. Not that I were not one for getting eager myself, but you know, the thing with getting eager is that you get a higher risk of hurting yourself. And we're nearing it already. And take note, I left a little bit of space above, so this is in no way the head of a duck or right now. But because the thing is as with every work, it is really beneficial if you take some time to do some planning beforehand. Maybe even you might maybe even make a drawing or something like that. Because especially if you're working on more complex things, this is really a great thing to have. And I'm adding sort of a stop cut and using a thumb push cut. I am starting on the beak, and I want the beak to go a little bit upwards. Blimey, that wood is really tough, and it's beech wood, and I need to remind myself to not to apply too much force, because better take off just some tiny wimey shavings. Quality of your carving will benefit from it too, and you run less of a risk to cut yourself. And honestly, the cuts I am applying are a little bit well, already a little bit advanced, so you have to decide whether you want to try them. Now I'm starting on the upper part of the beak, and I'm using scooping cuts like that, and you see that what looked a little bit awkward, it's still looking awkward, I know, but maybe makes a little bit more sense now. And now I'm getting to a point where I want to take it a tad slower. So, and well, just some little shavings, and now I'm carving the underside of the beak again. And now I'm reducing the neck a little bit. And doing this on both sides, which also gives me more of a platform to work from. And so, and working my way around. Not the tiger ente. And actually, it's the cartoon character is really really simple, and I think the beauty in that abstraction is well, is the abstraction. Is the art in it is that the reduction in the rather abstract achievement of, if you just Google the term tiger ente, which it is catering to the viewing well, pleasure of children, and but it applies to also to adults as well, because I was at one point I was really into Celtic and Pictic art, and no, it's not the same. They are actually pretty related, but it's not the same. The Irish are not Celts. And the Scottish too, they are Gals. And this is actually a really academic distinction, and so I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but it is a rather important distinction. And what the Pictish abstraction is it shows a really well, almost, if it's almost something I would call esoteric, because it shows a really great understanding of the motive. And well, it's art. It's and art is always spiritual in a way, and this is not, and it's not about good art or bad art or what have you. And I personally, I do think that a lot of our problems is due to the lack of the possibility of creating art for a living, or at least art in general, and in our society, because it's seen as frivolous. If you are not productive, if you are not producing, well, cars or weapons, or even food production is seen as frivolous if you are not doing it on an industrial scale. And so I think that this aims at the heart of a lot of problems that we have in our society. And I don't get me wrong. I don't think this is some great and important art. It is just a carving I do for fun, and it is a practice for something I hope will become something bigger. But the thing what I wanted to say is that the Tiger Ente has a message to kids, and the message is whimsy, of course, and the also it shows a deep understanding of how kids see ducks, and I think that is pretty great. And it's not a depiction of a duck, but it's the abstraction of how kids see a duck, and this is why it resonates with even with adults, because we all got that inner child still in us, and actually it's hard for me to achieve this sort of simplification, because my brain doesn't want it, and that is a shortcoming of the adult brain, maybe. So I am now carving a circle or something like this here. Using my thumb push grip in order to achieve the impression that it has an eye. Just do it real slow, because that's a pretty dangerous cut to do, and if you get some sort of a wood chisel set or something, that's perfectly okay. And I just want to show you that it is perfectly doable with just Swiss Army knife. Not because I want to show off how cool I am, but because I know how it feels if you are left for material and want to get started. A lot of people focus too much on the gear, and as I said countless times, I love gear, and that's not something I would want to criticize, but you can make do, is what I want to say. And take note, I am doing these details while the piece is still attached to the longer wood, and I do this for convenience reasons and because it's a little bit safer to, like so. Just pretty rough and tumble. You might also add some sort of a line down here in order to set the beak a little bit. So, and you can add a bit of character by doing this. Make it a little bit funny. So now I'm reverting to the big blade again, because you can see there is this irregularity, and I want to remove that before I do some holes. And the reason why the first piece failed was because I used fresh birch wood, and it was really delicate. It was just far smaller than this one, and I carved I drilled the holes, and originally I had intended to put some brass pins for axles for the wheels on, but decided otherwise, and this is something I can not recommend. If you get a plan, stick to it. Changing your plan is something you sometimes have to do, but on the other hand, there's always the possibility that you can ruin your piece by changing plan midway. Now I'm preparing to carve off the piece already, but I'm doing it in a way where I can shape the tail or backhand in the process, and I'm taking my time, even though I'm getting eager. It's a little bit cold out here, and a little bit cold, and so, and if something like this happens to you, you might even consider putting your carving aside and returning on another occasion, because it's always how failure comes to be, and if that happens, that would be a shame. So this is still a rather abstract simplification of a duck, and it's a toy actually, But as I said, the abstraction is something that is capable of giving you paradoxically so, of maybe giving you another impression of the animal. And the thing is, if you it's sometimes you need to simplify and keep in mind what you did for simplification in order to understand what you are carving. And I can only recommend, if you want to carve something, that you look at the original, and because it's a little bit like language or metaphors, and you know, the cats and the principal forms and stuff like this are like grammar, are like some like parts of a language, and this is something that sounds pretty esoteric right now, only that it isn't. It honestly is something that really changed the way I'm looking at art. And now what I'm doing now is, by the way, I'm preparing the drillings for the wheels by creating a little bit of a platform to put the awl on, and marking off where I want to go. Now it's time for the awl, and I want to start my hole a little bit away from the outside, because this reduces the chance of tear outs and cracking, and so. And I'm not using a lot of pressure. I deliberately used beechwood for the very reason that it is more dense and more and tougher than birchwood is. Especially, this is halfway dry, and hopefully will provide a good base for the axles. And it's a bastard to drill and a bastard to work with, and it's also a halfway watt, and I hope I manage to get rid of the crack by carving it off. And well, and what you are doing is you want to check until the tip comes out of the other side, and so you need the ways to go still, but getting there. And now it's all downhill from here. I know how to go downhill with a bike as well as with life. And Now it's, you see, it's coming out of the other side. And since the awl is conical, I'm changing direction and going in from the other side as well, in order to create a cylindrical hole. This is actually working a cinch, like so. And take note, I have still that handle on my piece, and so this is really convenient. We will come to the point where we cut it off soon enough. And you know, blimey, it's really cold. and remind yourself frequently, don't get eager. Don't get eager. Don't get eager. Even when you're cold, or even when you're miserable, or doesn't work, or what have you. If that's the case, put your carving aside. It's not. This is what I am not trying to say. It's not a competition. It's something that should offer you some solace, some comfort, and a little bit of quality time, hopefully in the woods, and or in your workshop, or what have you. And the thing is, yes, world's a rather shitty place at the moment, but there are still things that have worked forever to keep humans resilient, and this is part of it. And this is something they don't want you to know or stick to. And it's not an adult thing, because it's not exclusively an adult thing. I think a little bit along the lines of what C.S. Lewis said, a fantasy author, and well, he had a reason to say that, because he wrote fairy tales, but actually he's got a pretty fair point, I think, because he said one day you will be old enough to read fairy tales again, and this is something I really want want you to at least consider. Don't buy it from Uncle Fimbulmerk, and don't think that's the end of it. Of course it's not. But this is something that we tend to forget. We are thinking about politics, we're thinking about along the lines that we must change the world immediately. Yes, we should do a little bit of thinking about how we want to live, and how we want to live together, or we want to change the way we are living at the moment. Maybe not. Need to talk about that, but we don't need to do it all alone, and we don't need to do it in an instant. We don't need to be able to know everything all at once, because mankind has always survived because of cooperation, not of competition. And that's historian talking again. I'm doing something like this now. So, you know, I think there's a reason they don't want to want you to be whimsical or And well, look at me. I'm a guy, and I'm a survivalist. No, I'm not carving some ducks in the woods. In order to get my ducks in a row. This is actually my secret plan. I want to carve a lot of these and put them in a row in order to have my ducks more in a row. Row your boat swiftly down the stream. Now. And what I can do now is just a little bit of shaping. And I take out my saw. Also, I'm going on both sides, going in on both sides, and add a slot on all the sides, and wait a little bit to go still. I just saw it off. I can break it off now. Yeah, and now I fold in my saw. Take out my little whittling blade. Doing a little bit of shaping. And now we're left with something like this. Now I will be looking for something testing a little bit. No, that won't do. What I get here, however, is a piece of holly lying around, not doing anything. And what I want to do is I want to saw off the wheels of the duck. I need to don't use a lot of pressure if you are working like that, just carve rather gently, because you want a bit of, it's not rocket science actually, but you do want a little bit of precision. And holly is pretty great for things that are subjected to some wear and tear, and actually is a bit difficult. If you got some sort of Japanese carpenter store or something for wood joinery, this would be honestly a better alternative. But as is, it is perfectly doable. And got some disc, and maybe I can put it in there in order to achieve sort of a, yeah, that's a great idea. Just made myself a vice. And it's this is pretty convenient. I think this is one aspect I really like about sitting or standing in the woods, carving away, slowed in nature, doing slowed in nature. That's because you it feels rather empowering if you are capable of doing something like this. And the next one, I will make. I think I will make more. This one is a little bit too thick, and using this one as a measure, I I'm just cutting away. It's a little bit boring, I think, for you maybe, but it takes some time, and you know, apologies on one hand, on the other hand, no apologies, because I think that way a lot of guys cut their videos, and I just think that's not realistic, because it takes some time. It takes some patience, and these are the lessons to be learned in with stuff like this. And I think that this is the good thing for one's mental health, that you need to face your darker sides and your shortcomings a little bit. And my shortcoming definitely is that I get impatient, and so. And I try to do shortcuts and what have you, and so that's a lesson to be learned. And that's why I think it's character building if you are doing stuff like this. Not necessarily exactly this, but I think it's a pretty wholesome activity you can do, and no wonder that it doesn't sit too well with people Not that I were claiming that there is an active movement to ban something like slurred or something. That's I don't think so. But what you need is a little bit of leisure for it. You need to be a little bit calm in your mind, and that's a pretty self. Well, it's a little bit paradox, because you can relax that way, but in order to relax that way, you already need to be you already need some basic calm, and so this is something maybe that's not welcome. And not claiming that there was an active sabotage of stuff like this, what I'm just doing here, but honestly, I don't think that people are aware of the benefits of stuff like this for our society, and those who are in charge don't have an interest of benefiting society, I think, because they are well, I think they set different priorities. I think that they, if you can even talk about they versus us, because I don't think it works that way, honestly, because it would be better for everyone, not just for us, if we had more calm and more quiet in our society. And no, I got the wheels. But I think since it's getting dark and it's really cold, I will do the drilling at home, and maybe even put some brass tube as an axle into it. We'll see how it goes, and I will come back to you as soon as possible with this project. It might take some time, or there might be some project in between, but promise it's not the last that you saw on this channel. So that's how it looks like now. And I hope you get a little bit of an inspiration. It's not rocket science. It takes some time, but honestly, it is not that complex, and everyone can do this. And actually, this is a small scale thing. You could also take a hacksaw or a jigsaw to just saw out the outlines and just carve the details. And that way you could even create a really even more simple project. and you could make a bigger one for your kids. Not for all the kids, I think, but it's a fun thing also to do with kids. And I think apart from that, it's also pretty cool to do yourself. Now I will take that home and I will work on it later on. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and get out there in the woods, get cold and miserable, and craft yourself something. And don't take it too hard, too much. So that said, thank you for being here, as I said, and I really hope to see you soon. Stay sane and healthy out there. Bye.